Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben, the award-winning gardening podcast as voted for by the Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and by my listeners. I hope that you have all clicked that subscribe button. If you're new to the podcast channel, please do click the subscribe button and then you get notified of all the new podcasts that get launched. And if you're not following me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, make sure you look for Gardening with Ben and follow me on all my social medias. So sit back, relax, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's gardening podcast with Ben. Hello everyone and welcome back to Gardening with Ben for a new podcast. We're not going to do our June tips yet, that's going to be the next episode, so make sure you stay tuned for that. That should hopefully be coming tomorrow, so stay tuned to see what June tips are, and then we'll do an episode on what to plant in June as well, so stay tuned for that one. If you're a new follower, make sure you click that subscribe button and then you'll get notified when a new podcast comes up. So what have we been up to? Well, we're now on 5 days off and we can spend some fantastic time at the allotment, and the weather is absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous again, and yeah, I just can't get over how nice it is while I'm off, thankfully, which always falls lucky when you're off work and it's absolutely glorious and the weather's sunny, but that means you have to water which brings its downsides. But yeah, I didn't have to water outside today as it did rain yesterday, so the ground was pretty damp, but we did have to water my melons and my cucumbers inside as they had not been watered since Saturday due to me being working. But now we can spend every day down there giving it a good soaking and hopefully get them growing, because we need those melons, because that is my key thing this year down at the allotment, to get some successful melons growing and hopefully taste the delights. And I really do want some watermelons this year, some really good watermelons, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get some good watermelons from our plants. So what have we been up to recently? Well, I'm now going live on TikTok quite regularly, so if you're on the TikTok world, staying down with the young'uns, make sure you give me a follow, called Gardening with Ben. I've been going live on there. Still not done one of these battle things yet, what people keep doing. I don't think I'll win at that, to be honest. The battle of the gardens. But yeah, we've been going live on that, and we've been going live a lot more on Facebook as well now, interacting with everybody, keeping up to date with everyone and sharing what we've been getting up to, because everybody likes to know what I'm getting up to down at the allotment or what I'm doing, so it's always good to interact with people, and I think people like to come on and have a little chat with me as well, so it's always good to do that. So we've been doing that, and yeah, we have obviously got some cheap plants again recently. I don't know if I mentioned it in my last podcast, but we bought some canners, and I've never grown them before, and yeah, they've been reduced from £4 to £2, so half price, bargain, and apparently they come back every year, so that's another good reason to buy them. I'm buying so many more perennials that just keep coming back year after year, because the more perennials I've got, the better, and the more money I'll save, even though I'll probably end up buying more plants. I'm one of these that'll just keep buying them until the whole plot's full of flowers. But yeah, definitely. So we've got 5 of those canners, so we planted those in the front of our plot. Yes, they do not look very good at the moment, but fingers crossed, with a bit of love and attention and a bit of water, they'll start growing and we'll get some decent flowers spikes on them. So we obviously went down to the allotment today and we had a good look around to see what is actually going on down at the plot, because obviously with the rain the weeds come, and obviously plants start to grow well as well, which is good. Water and warmth definitely makes the plants grow well, so everything is starting to shoot up a lot better now. And I've just been looking around today, and Wow, so many weeds growing. And I'm going to tell you in my other podcast what my favourite weeding tool is. So if you don't listen to my other podcast channel, go and find that. It's called Gardening and Allotment Tips Podcast, hosted by Gardening with Ben, obviously. But yeah, go and check that one out. There's a link in the description, so you can go and listen to that one as well. So we've been doing a lot of weeding today, and I've weeded quite a lot today. It's looking good. It's starting to look back in shape again. It's just a case of keeping things watered now and getting things growing. But I did mention before that I'm doing a little experiment by growing some lettuce outside and some lettuce in my polytunnel to see which one grows best and better. And I'm also growing the lettuce in the polytunnel in pots of soil, so it's the same soil what's outside as inside, so it's a fair test really. I didn't want to spend anything like buying compost to plant it in. I just wanted to grow them and see how well they get on. And obviously the ones in the polytunnel are doing a lot better, even though they are obviously drying out faster, because they would dry out being in the polytunnel, not getting any rain, but obviously they're getting the heat, which is making them grow faster. So if we can get them to grow fast, hopefully we might start some more off as well this week, because obviously they'll be getting ready to be picked soon. So we need a constant crop of lettuce growing in the polytunnel to keep us going throughout the whole growing season really. The more vegetables that you can grow, the better and the tastier things are. So I'm really pleased with how the lettuce is coming along. And I've just been looking around at everything that's growing, and some things are growing well, yeah, but some things aren't doing too good. But that's the thing with gardening, some things grow well, some things don't, and yeah, that's how you learn, and that's the whole point of gardening. Not everything grows fantastically. You just have to try your best and see what you get from it, and if you get produce from it, bonus, definitely, job well done. So we've obviously got absolutely loads and loads of rhubarb growing. I'm going to pick a lot of that tomorrow. I think I'm going to get it all picked and get it all harvested so that we can get some more growing, because come August time, that's when we tend to let it die back and let all the nutrients go back into the crown, ready for it to go into hibernation over the winter and go dormant, ready for growing again the year after. So we're going to pick a lot of rhubarb, and hopefully we'll get some more pickings from it. And it's starting to look a bit of a jungle as well, so I need to get it picked definitely, so that we can get around a lot easier. And then obviously my fruit trees, they're really growing fast. This wet weather's making them grow so fast at the moment. It's amazing how fast a fruit tree can actually grow and shape out. You prune it back and it's back grown within a few weeks. And we need to look at getting his plum tree pruned back, because now is the right time to be pruning the plum trees back, ready for fruiting. You can either prune them just after they've fruited or around now, but obviously they have got fruit on them now, so just be careful where you prune them, because you don't want to lose all your fruit what's growing on it. But it's good to let some air into the tree as well. Sometimes there's branches crossing one another, and that's what you don't want. You need the air to be able to circulate around the tree. So we've got as fruit growing, we've got as strawberries. We've been picking strawberries. They're absolutely delicious. Nothing beats homegrown strawberries. You just have to keep an eye on the slugs, make sure that they don't eat them all, or the mice coming along and pinching them, or the squirrels. There's always pests around that you have to contend with when you've got an allotment. So we've got that growing, and I've got all my blackberries growing, my raspberries growing. Everything is growing really well, and I've got so many pears on as well. I was looking at my pear tree as well today, and they're just looking absolutely amazing. So I'm pleased with how they're coming along. And then obviously we've got a sweet corn growing. That's growing well. I gave that a good weeding round today to let the water be able to get through the ground and get them watered, because they do need a lot of water to keep them growing and to get them growing nice and tall. and obviously producing the corn. Obviously, the taller they are, the more corn they'll produce on the branches. I don't know what you call it, a plant, sweet corn plant, but yeah, it's like a small tree really. So the taller you get them, the better, the more produce you'll get on the sweet corn plants. And obviously you need to keep an eye on them for the squirrels as well, because last year my dad was growing sweet corn and I saw a squirrel literally come along and pinch a full cob off the plant, and we thought it might be rats, but it weren't. It was squirrels coming along and pinching the cobs. So he put some plastic bottle ends over them, and that stopped them. It worked well. So if you're having trouble with squirrels, put some ends over the top of your cobs, and that will stop them from pinching them. And yeah, it is starting to fill up a lot now. The flowers are starting to come out. They're all looking lovely. We're just waiting on our gladiolus coming out. I've got so many gladiolus in my allotment this year. All the leaves are there now. We're just waiting for the flower spikes to come through, and then when they come through, wow, it's going to look absolutely amazing. Hopefully, that's the plan anyway, and hopefully they'll attract the bees to the plot. And yeah, I'm just pleased with how everything's coming along. And I've got fuchsias in my plot this year. They're looking absolutely gorgeous. They're all bought cheap and cheerful from the supermarket when they were trying to kill them off. I've got lavender in, which smells absolutely fantastic. On my Facebook Live this morning, I was showing my roses what are coming out. They're looking absolutely glorious as well. It's just all starting to come together really well. Yeah, it's going to take a few more years to get it to where I want it to be, but step by step we're getting there, and it's starting to come on a real treat now. And that's why I do all these Facebook Lives, because then people can see what I'm actually doing. Yeah, I'm not a fantastic gardener. Yeah, I'm not perfect, but I do put a lot of effort in, and I do give it a try, and I love sharing what I do, and I think that's what everybody loves about it. I don't complain about everything what's happening. I just enjoy myself and share all the positives from down at the allotment, and I hope that a lot of people get that from this. And thanks for those that do support me and do enjoy these podcasts. And yeah, I sometimes I go through waves of doing loads of podcasts, and then I seem to stop for a bit. But yeah, hopefully we will get these back on track, because they are worthwhile, and everybody seems to love them. And I do look at the stats to see how many people are listening to them, and there's like 200, 300 downloads a day on my podcasts, so it's really going well, and a lot of people enjoy them. So if you've not left a review of my podcast, please do leave a review. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave a written review, and if you're listening on Spotify, leave a star rating review, and it will really help boost it and hopefully get it out to more people as well. And that's what I encourage, that people share it and put it in their Instagram stories and stuff like that. If you're listening on Spotify, you can just click that share button and it'll go into your Spotify story, and everybody will be able to have a listen then. So thanks for all your support, and I hope that you do enjoy these podcasts. Do click that subscribe button. Do follow me on all my social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So yeah, thank you everybody, and as always, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. Thank you for listening to today's Gardening with Ben's podcast. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do click that subscribe button, and feel free to share it as well on your Instagram stories. All you have to do if you're listening on Spotify is click the share button, and you can share it straight to your Instagram story for all your followers to listen to, and help build my listeners up as well and get more people listening to it. Feel free to check out all my social medias: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. Go check it out. Check out my dancing. Gardening with Ben. And check out the link as well in the description of this podcast, where you can check out my gardening t-shirt shop, where I sell funny t-shirts with all different funny logos and designs on, and feel free to support me by purchasing one, and all the money obviously goes back into my allotment where I can share more gardening tips with you all. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcast.